Welcome back everyone to my Getting Back in Shape series. This is the third full body routine in this series where we only use our own body weight to build and strengthen our muscles. As explained before, we are using a vertical loading system for this routine whereby we exercise each body part in consecutive order. The goal here is to perform each exercise for 30 seconds before moving on to the next. You want to complete 3 sets with 1 minute rest in between sets. You'll notice that as you get stronger, 30 seconds may not be intensive enough. When this happens, I suggest either increasing the exercise time by 45 seconds or doing each exercise to failure. Here are the exercises in this routine. Pick out the exercise that best fits your fitness level. You can choose any exercise you like from this routine or any of the other routines from the other videos in this series. You can find the other 2 routines in the description box below. Enjoy. Alright, so this is just a shoulder mobility exercise that helps get the shoulders warmed up, get some blood flowing in there, and helps stretch out the shoulders. Listen guys, as we get older, our shoulders get more and more susceptible to injury, and so being able to keep them strong and somewhat flexible by doing stuff like this is really gonna help out. So what you want to do here is grab a straight bar, could be a broomstick, whatever, and what you're going to notice is that this position here will actually challenge your range of motion, and that's actually a good thing. You may find it a little annoying, but it's also going to challenge your core and help to develop more stabilization in your core as you're doing this exercise. Just remember to keep your back neutral as you do this exercise. So the first chest exercise is a suspension strap push-ups. I want you to notice the neutral position of my hands here, and I just feel that this is the best position to do these exercises to avoid any type of injury. I also just do a really quick bringing of the hands together and try to get that contraction in the chest at the end of the exercise. So I feel that this is a great substitute for dumbbell flies. I'm not particularly a fan of dumbbell flies simply because of the risk of injury, especially if you're doing some really heavy dumbbell flies. But the way that this exercise makes me feel, I really don't feel like I'm missing anything. I actually get a great pump in my pectoral muscle during the expansion and contraction when I'm doing this exercise. So obviously keep your arm slightly bent as you extend it out, and with your other arm, keep it close to your body with a neutral grip. So I got a couple of push-up variations I want to show you. This I call the Super Saiyan push-up because of the position of the hands, and basically you're stimulating your pectoral muscles in different areas obviously because your hands are in different directions. So I think that if you try this exercise, you're going to be surprised as to how much stimulation you're actually going to be giving your chest muscles. One technique you can use to make this exercise more effective is to squeeze the floor with your hands at the end of the concentric movement to stimulate more muscle contraction in the pectoral muscles. Here's another one of my favorite push-up variations. Just remember to keep that arm close to your body as you push up. From this angle it may look like I'm flaring out my elbow a little bit too much, but actually it's pretty close, and I think it's at about a 45-degree angle from my body. So the next couple of exercises is kind of like a combination of both back and rear deltoid exercises. This one in particular can probably focus a little bit more on your teres major and minor, and as well as your rhomboids, as well as a little bit of your rear delts as well. With this variation, you'll probably feel it in your rear deltoids a little bit more. But on another note, I want you to notice my grip here. I don't hold the suspension straps or the TRX straps by the handles because I feel it takes away from the areas of the body that you're actually trying to develop, simply because the forearms are brought into play here. I just like to eliminate the forearms altogether with these exercises. Alright, so this is another great shoulder exercise. The only challenge here is trying to make sure that you are using a complete range of motion. So as you extend your arms back to contract your shoulders, stick out your chest as best you can and try to make sure that your hand is at least right beside or parallel to your ears. This is where having TRX straps comes in really handy, obviously because they have a foot holder in their handles. But regardless, I like my Olympic rings. They are a fraction of the cost of TRX straps, and I'm still able to do the intended exercises that I had planned to do. So these are actually really great. They put you at a really great angle. And you know, the great thing about this exercise also is that you can make it even more challenging the more you step back. Hammer curls are known for working the outer part of the biceps, so here's another great way to just go ahead and target those muscles. The great thing about doing this version of the concentration curl is that given the high position of the arm will help you develop that bicep peak. And this is especially effective if you don't rest your arm on your knee. Alright, so when doing these pull downs to develop your triceps, keep your elbows tight up against your body and do not let them move. We want to isolate the triceps as much as possible. Also, notice again how my grip is neutral, because this allows me to place more overload on my triceps as opposed to holding the straps by their handles, which then forces me to rely on my forearms. Oh yeah, wall sits. This is the exercise you love to hate and hate to love. Sounds a lot like burpees. This exercise is very simple yet effective for building strength and stamina in your legs. I mean, what else could you ask for? So obviously doing single leg wall sits puts a different degree of challenge into the exercise. Just try to hold on as long as you can to about 30 seconds, or try to build up to 30 seconds. But as you get stronger, try to do these by holding them to failure. One of the things I found helpful when doing these Bulgarian squats is to keep my body slightly leaning forward. Standing too straight up causes discomfort in my lower back because it kind of hyperextends it a little bit. Alright, so with these rollouts, the best way to make them most effective is to contract your abs when rolling back toward your body. Keep your lower back protected though by rolling out as far as you can without hyperextending your lower back beyond your capacity. Now this exercise is actually great to strengthen your overall core. Alright, so here's another great overall core conditioning exercise. I usually like to add in a push-up when coming back from the reverse rollout. Again, same thing, just protect your lower back with by not hyperextending it beyond your means. Finally, this is one of my most favorite ab exercises. Not only does it do everything I just mentioned in regards to stabilizing and strengthening your overall core, but it also is a great way of targeting those lower abs. Get rid of some of that lower belly fat.